Good morning. This is Mike Hendricks with eXp Realty. Just wanted to make this video this morning just to talk to you a little bit about mortgage rates. I know a lot of people are very nervous about mortgage rates right now, and they are quite a bit higher than what we are used to. I'm going to be pulling from an article by Alex Viega that I was sent last week by my team lead, Chuck Golub. And it will dive a little bit into the interest rates. So it says this week's 30-year mortgage rate averaged 5.11%. I was sent this last week, so this information is accurate as of last week. As the increased borrowing costs reduce would-be buyers' purchasing power. So what that means is if you were qualified for a mortgage, let's just say $300,000, and you were qualified at 3.5%. Your purchasing power has now gone down now that rates are at 5.11%. So while you may have been qualified previously for $300,000, now it might be $270,000. So if you haven't checked what you're pre-qualified for recently, I would absolutely recommend that you speak to your loan officer. If you don't have a loan officer, we have some really great people that we work with, and I would be happy to make an introduction to you. Right along with that, it says this week it rose to 5.11%, according to mortgage buyer Freddie Mac. 1 year ago, it was 2.97%. 2.97%. That is unheard of. That was a great interest rate. So with people that have that interest rate of 2.97%, they go on to say while higher rates could translate into less frenzied competition for homes, most homeowners with a mortgage have locked in ultra low rates, which is what that 2.97% is. They have locked those in over the years and will have less financial incentive to sell, which could lead to fewer homes up for sale. So what this translates to is you're not going to have your home buyers wanting to sell their home when their current mortgage is at 2.5%, whatever it may be, when the current rates are 5.11. They're not going to want to sell at that great rate and turn around and get another property for 5.11%. It just financially, it just doesn't make sense. They'll be paying a whole lot more in interest over the life of that loan. So that is one of the reasons that we are in what's called a seller's market. The sellers are holding all the cards these days in the transactions. But our interest rates are not nearly as bad as they have been in the 80s. So it says here, mortgage rates have been declining for decades. From 18%, you heard that right, 18% in the early 80s to below 3% last year. So the rates are still really, really favorable and very good compared to what they have been historically. But to reiterate, the writer says, but the low rates over the past decade have given homeowners a financial incentive to hang on to their homes longer as rates rise. So that's where we're at. That is kind of why we're in the housing market that we're in right now. Sellers are not wanting to sell. They have too much to lose, is probably the best way to put it, by getting another mortgage that could be double what their interest rate is right now. So those people that are wanting to sell, they're kind of making up for that because buyers are coming in and offering 20, 30, 40. I've even heard of $70,000 over asking price, and there are no contingencies. So people are getting very creative in ways that they are trying to be the accepted buyer. So my recommendation for you is get pre-qualified. Find out what you can qualify for. So again, let's say it's $300,000. All right, there's $300,000 right there. We then start looking under that price range. You don't want to look at the maximum you can borrow because you will lose out almost every time. So take a step back, excuse me, and find out. I'm sorry, it's not find out, but take a step back, take that $300,000, and then maybe start looking for a home at the $250,000 range. And then you have wiggle room to go up to that $300,000. But remember, it may not appraise for the amount that the offer is accepted for. So you need to have a plan in place to cover the difference. It's called the appraisal gap. So have a plan in place saying, hypothetically, you went down to 250, you offered 270, you were the accepted buyer. So you're at 270, the appraisal comes in, it comes in at 250. You need to have that extra $20,000 to put down to cover that appraisal gap. So this is just a brief introduction of mortgages, why the market is kind of the way it is, and I would love to speak with you in more detail. So if you would like, visit my website, MikeHendricksRealtor.com, or you can give me a call, 651-226-4293. I can accept text messages at that number as well. Or you can message my Facebook page, and we will connect. If you have any questions or would like any further information, I'd love to share a cup of coffee with you, and we'll sit down and discuss things. All the coffee is at no charge. There's no commitment. I just want you to make the best decision you possibly can for yourself. And I will guide you through that whether I get paid or not. That is my purpose, is just to help people make the best decisions for them personally. So once again, Mike Hendricks with eXp Real Estate. I look forward to connecting with you.